Hello, this is Keenan Park, and this is Wylock 7th grade worksheet lesson 23. So for the first question, we want to know how many triangles we can construct with just these three segments that are in the picture below. So let's try to draw, if we draw a 6-inch line here, and then we can draw a 4-inch line and a 3-inch line, we can get a 3, 4, 6 triangle, and we can see that this triangle works out. If you try any other triangles, there isn't really anything else to try. We just put on the three sides, and it'll also come out to be a 3, 4, 6 triangle, of course. But we do this to make sure that the triangle actually exists. If it was like 1, 5, and 1, then they wouldn't be able to make a triangle because these two sides would be too short to reach each other. So the correct answer is B. How many triangles can be constructed if two sides and an angle between them are known? So you know the length of this side. Oh, that was a terrible line. We know the length of this side, and we also know the angle. So then how many triangles can be constructed? So you would probably think that there's only one possible triangle, and that would be correct. You can see that if you know if you have let's say the point of this vertex, if we know the angle and then the length, we know exactly where this point is, and we know exactly where this point is, so there's only one possible answer. Alright, to the next question. How many triangles can be constructed with angles 40, 50, and 90 degrees? So the triangles have the rule where if you add up the angles, they must add up to 180 degrees. So if we check that for this triangle, 40 plus 50 plus 90 is 180. So that checks out. So then what kind of triangles can we make? This is like a 40-degree angle. This is a right angle, 90 degrees, and this is a 50-degree angle. But we don't know the lengths of any of the sides. And in fact, we can make a small version, we can make a really big version. So there's like all sorts of triangles we can make. So there'll be an infinite number of triangles. And then let's see, how many triangles can be constructed with the segments and the angle in the picture below? If we know that this is the 2-inch side and this is the 7-inch side, the angle between them is 45 degrees. Once again, it's just one triangle because we know exactly where this point and this point should be relative to this point. Let's say we have two sides and then an angle is opposite to the shorter side, so this angle is known. How many triangles could we make? And so like all the other ones, you might think that this is just one triangle, but there's actually two triangles. And so for the reason for that is because if we let's say we draw a triangle that looks like this, or sorry, let me make the triangle a little bit more like this, let's say, and we know that this angle is here, we know this length, and we know this length. But there's actually another triangle that has the same length and the same angle here. If we draw this line here, so that's the same length, you can see that it also fulfills the same criteria, but it's actually a different triangle. So there's two triangles. And then how many triangles can be constructed with segments of these lengths? So as I said earlier, these two sides are too stubby to touch each other. Like no matter how far down I go, they'll just be a little bit short, and you know that because 11 and 8, well, this side between them is 20, and so 11 plus 8 is 19, so they'll never be able to span this entire length. So there's 0 triangles. Alright, list the rules that make a triangle a triangle. So let's see. For the first rule, that would be that the angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So we'll just say alpha plus beta plus gamma equals 180 degrees. The most basic rules would be that it has 3 sides, 3 angles, and 3 vertices. And then you can continue by saying what I said before about how the sides must add up. The shortest sides must be longer than the greatest side. shortest sides added greater than longest side. And then next it has to be a closed shape, so it can't just be something open like that. And then let's see. Oh yes, the exterior angles have to add up to 360 degrees. That's true of all polygons. So this plus this adds up to 180 degrees. Alright, that's it for today's video. So thank you for listening.